Most millionaires don't buy stocks. They follow this tried and true method that's so easy to implement, and I'll show you how. Welcome back to my channel where we're building wealth to live life on our own terms, one money move at a time. I'm Rami, an investor on track to retire in my early 40s, and I share weekly tips to fast track your way to financial freedom without sacrificing the luxuries you care about along the way. If you want to go beyond just the basics and actually master your money, check out my Financially Fabulous coaching program linked in the description. It's designed for people who want to build real wealth, avoid rookie mistakes, and finally feel confident on their journey to financial freedom. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Let's make your money fabulous together. So if you want to be financially free, the advice is usually the same. Buy stocks or real estate. But there's a crucial piece of information missing here that makes all the difference, and it's what accelerated my wealth building journey. I don't buy individual stocks, I invest in index funds instead. In fact, 70% of self-made millionaires invest in index funds as a key part of their portfolio. But let's back up and figure out what the difference even is. The best way to understand stocks is by thinking of them as a small piece of ownership of a company. If that company does well and their stock price goes up, so does your money. But the opposite can also be true. So early on in my investing journey, I tried to research and pick the best stocks. At one point, one of my friends and I even tried to become day traders. I would see what was moving and try to buy on the way up and then sell before it came down. As you can imagine, it became very difficult to manage, and it was also super risky. I distinctly remember one specific stock that I invested in as it was going up. I got super greedy and I doubled down because I thought I could make a lot of money. And then it quickly came crashing down and I was left with a loss. While it's great to have ownership of that single company by buying a stock, you're also very exposed based on the performance of that single company. So for instance, if I put my life savings in ABC company's stock, and then a huge scandal erupts at the company, which slashes their stock price in half, I lose half of my life savings. Even though the overall market may be up, I would still lose money because I invested too much in that single company. So what do you do about this? If you've watched my channel for a while, you know that I always say investing is the only way to pursue financial freedom. Investing in index funds is a great way to make sure that you can lower your risk as you do so. So at this point, you're probably wondering, what's an index fund? Well, first let's talk about what an index is. An index is a collection of companies that represent part of the stock market. For example, the S&P 500 tracks the 500 largest publicly traded companies in the United States. And it's usually used as a benchmark of how the United States economy is performing. It tracks large companies that you know, like Apple, Google, and Amazon. There are thousands of indexes all over the world, but only a few are widely known and tracked. So then what's an index fund? You can think of an index fund like a basket of stocks from an index, like the S&P 500. So you own a tiny piece of a bunch of large companies. This allows you to invest in the whole market instead of figuring out which individual companies are going to be successful. So why is that important? Number one, it allows you to be a lazy investor. And being a lazy long-term investor is a good thing. This means you don't have to do a bunch of research trying to figure out which companies are going to make it big, who's going to be successful, and how much you should invest in them. You get exposure to all of them and you win when the winners win. It's really that simple. Number two is you get to hedge your bets. So if you think of stocks like fruit, if you buy one piece of fruit and it goes bad, then you can't eat fruit. But if you buy a basket of fruit and one goes bad, then you still have other fruits to choose from. That's the difference between an individual stock and an index fund. There's nothing like the gut punch when a stock that you thought was gonna perform well actually tanks and doesn't recover. If you wanna invest with the lowest risk possible, index funds are gonna be your best friend. If you're just starting out on your investing journey, your next question may be, okay, Rami, I get what indexes are, I get what index funds are, but where do I even buy these? If you want to manage this process yourself, you open up what's called a brokerage account. A brokerage account is like a bank account, but instead of just holding cash, you can buy and sell stocks, index funds, and other types of investments. It's like opening up a wallet to invest. An example brokerage is Robinhood, who I think makes it way easier to buy and sell than traditional brokerages like Charles Schwab. From there, you'll link your bank account to the brokerage account to actually fund it, meaning you'll be able to transfer money to actually use to invest. Then voila, you can search for index funds to invest in. My personal favorite index fund is called VOO. VOO. It has almost all of the companies that are tracked by the S&P 500, so it allows you to own a tiny piece of the top companies in the United States. And the great thing is you can buy and sell VOO like a regular stock in your brokerage account. VOO is up 15% this year. So that means if you had put $10,000 in VOO on January 1st, you would have an extra $1,500 right now after having not done anything extra. And that would compound over time. But let's say you're like, Rami, this is so overwhelming. I don't want to open a brokerage account. What can I do to still take advantage of this? Don't worry, there's another solution for you. A Robo Advisor helps invest your money for you. You tell it your goals and the level of risk that you're okay with, and it buys investments automatically for you. It's like having a financial assistant in your phone that invests the way a pro would, but without the high fees and complicated steps. My favorite Robo Advisor is Acorns, and it's linked in the description. Once you set up your goals and tell it your risk level, Acorns does all of your investing automatically on your behalf. You don't have to do any of the heavy lifting. And the cool thing is you can invest as much or as little as you want. At one point, I was investing $100 a month. So ask yourself, do you have an extra $100 a month? It may not seem like much, but it adds up and compounds over time. They also have a roundup feature that invests your spare change because again, everything adds up. This is the best beginner-friendly option to make sure that you can start taking advantage of investing right away. It's easy to start, it's automated, and it's great for beginners. So now you're ready to start your investing journey. Here are a couple things that you should keep in mind. One is automate, automate, automate. I cannot stress this enough. It makes everything easier. Don't be afraid to start small and make an automated monthly contribution and grow it over time as your income grows. Number 2 is take emotion out of investing. This is super important. Investing in index funds or using a Robo Advisor will help with this, but there will be time when the market goes crazy and maybe you don't like what you're seeing. Don't panic, it's totally normal. But remember that you are investing for the long term. You don't lose money during a dip unless you sell. VU is up 88% in the last 5 years, but there have been significant dips along the way. If someone sold during those dips, they wouldn't be able to boast of an 88% return right now. And number 3, start now. There's no good time to start. People always say, I'll start when I have more money. I'll start when this, I'll start when that. Time in the market is the best ingredient for success. So start now and take advantage of compound growth. Investing doesn't have to be complicated. There are so many beginner-friendly ways to make your money work harder for you. Let me know what you think about picking individual stocks versus investing in index funds in the comments. If you want to shave years off your journey to financial freedom, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my weekly tips. Stay financially fabulous.